Welcome friends to our number 2 project. Thanks for joining me, it's really appreciated. It's Vicky Wright, Independent Stamping Up Demonstrator, Australia. Okay, so our second project with the Dainty Delight bundle is all about, again, a simple card, but one you can recreate over and over again. So they're our dies. It's got about 16 in the set with little, lots of extras that aren't in the stamp set. Okay, so that's our bundle. And now this week, would you believe I don't have any paper left? I do have some more coming. But this week, I can actually show you the catalogues. So that's the paper we're using throughout this class. The Dainty Flowers, 12 by 12. I didn't think I would like it, but I will be honest and say I really like it. I love the fact too that the opposite sides can be used for males or for all occasions. That's what I like about our papers, they're great for that. Okay, so let's get on with the show. So this is the card we'll be creating. As I said, a very simple one, but one that's got more wow or oomph, I suppose you could call it. So we'll bring in our kit. I'll just put that aside there so I can see it. It doesn't get in the way. I'm just making sure we've got everything. Yep. Okay. So that's our envelope. Okay. So we're going to be using rich Razzleberry base card, which has been pre-scored. Okay, so I'm just going to burnish it with bone folder. Don't have a bone folder, just use a ruler or even your thumb. Okay, so then we're going to bring in a piece of basic white and a piece of DSP. So that's the one side of it, perfect for a male. And then this is the other side. So we're going to be using this side. Okie dokie. Now, I'll be honest and say, I'm not a purple person. A lot of people are, but I quite like the finished look of this card. Okay, so all we're going to do is stick this to here, making sure that it's nice and straight and top and bottom is even. And that looks pretty straight to me. Okay, then what we're going to do is bring in a piece of rich Razzleberry. Now this has been, I cut this off from something that was scored, but I'm not going to worry about that because we're not going to see that scored line. And we're going to be using this piece, but that is the opposite side of it. So as I said, perfect for a male. So we'll just glue this on. Just like that. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually pop this up, but I'm not going to pop it up because I don't want it too high. sometimes we do it too high, and one, it's too thick for the post, and two, sometimes it will take away from the card. It's too high. Well, I think it does anyhow. A little bit of glue there. Then making sure it's nice and straight, and I'm going to bring it over to the left side more so than in the middle. Sorry, the right side. Okay, starboard side. Then I've already pre-die cut a circle from the Stylish Shapes dies, and what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this. Now again, I'm using the Best Is Yet to Come. Okay, so we'll stamp that first, and we're going to be using Rich Razzleberry. So we'll just gently tap, tap, tap that. I don't want now, you all know me, I like to stamp off first. There. I'll put that aside so I don't get ink everywhere. And then I'll just put that aside. Now I've pre-stamped and pre-die cut a flower, which is that one here. Okie dokie, so that's it there. Then what we're going to do now is bring in our watercolour pencils, and we're going to be doing a little bit of colouring. So we want Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, oops, and I want Rich Razzleberry, Memento, that's Flirty Flamingo, is this Rich Razzleberry? Yeah. Now I've taken the colours from the paper, okie dokie. So now all we're going to do is just randomly colour these flowers, okay? Now I'm not the best colourer, excuse me. Excuse me, sorry about that. I get the sneezes all morning. Must be something in the air, I think. So I'm just going to randomly colour these flowers. I'll do all the buds first. Now you don't have to have them all the same colour if you don't wanted to. You could have them different colours, but I'm just going to keep them the same colour. I'm sort of trying to add more colour towards the bottom than the top. You'll see why in a minute. Okay. The pencils are very soft to use. They're great actually. I could have used my blends, but I thought this is a nice change. Okay, so then I've finished that, and I'm going to bring in a blender pen. Now I always keep a blender pen in with my pencils. It saves me going to look for one. Then now, because we're using the basic white cardstock and not the shimmer or vellum or watercolour paper, when you're using your blender pen on cardstock like this, just be very quick and mindful that it is cardstock, and if you press too hard or you colour too long, you may peel the cardstock, okay? It's not as forgiving as the other papers like the watercolour paper or shimmer paper. That's done. I always put the lid back on mine. Then what we're going to do is grab our Daffodil Delight. We could have used crushed curry if we wanted to, but I think we'll use that. Then what we're going to do is same thing, is quickly colour our leaves. I've just heard the dog go out the door and I've got the hose on. So I'm hoping she doesn't go under the spray, come back soaking wet. She's blind and deaf, so she doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, so then we're quickly going to do the same thing. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, so it can be perfect if you want to. Mine's far from it. Okay. I missed one. Oh, I missed a heap. Oops. And to take the colour off, just go like that until it comes out clear. Okay, so we'll put those away. Then we'll bring in our circle. So all we're going to do now is just add a little bit of glue to the back of our image. We'll bring in our circle, and I'm just going to arrange it just like that. And we're going to put some dimensionals on the back again to pop it up a little bit. I like to pop anything up that I put on the top of DSP. It just doesn't get lost in the DSP, I find. Okay. Actually, before we do that, what I might do is stick this to our base card, eh? Oh, she's come back in. So if she's wet and she can't find a way, you may hear a little whimper. She doesn't bark or anything, but she does whimper if she gets a little bit lost or something's wrong. Okay, so that's that. And then what we're going to do is just pop that up like that, so that a little bit's showing either side. Okay, is that straight? Have I got that straight? Yep. Then what we're going to do is bring in some white baker's twine from the Essential Pack. It's available in the annual catalogue. Tie a little bow, just like that. Bring in our mini glue dots, and we're gonna just roll that over like that. Put on the back so that we don't see it, hopefully not see it. And just put that there. Okay, just like that. Then what we're going to do is grab our scissors just like that, and we're going to finish it off with some enamel dots, the basic white, and we'll just scatter those around the front. Oh, sticky little devils. So I'll put one about there, and we'll put one about there, and we'll put a little one there. Now, before we finish, we've got to do our inside, so we'll just grab a piece of cardstock, and we will grab a piece of DSP. And we're just going to stick this. I'll stick this to the side because I think I've cut it running down. Yeah. Because I've cut it running down, I want to stick it to the side. If you had to cut it running across landscape, you could have stuck it along the bottom. Okie dokie. Put that aside. Open up our card. Put that in there like that. That's finished. And of course, you have to have a matchy-matchy envelope as well. And our envelope. I always like to leave a little border down the side. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I always seem to. Or you could stamp an image, it's up to you. Or you could also cut a piece of cardstock and cover the flap if you wanted to. Not cardstock, paper, if you wanted to. So that's our card for today. Okay, nice, again, nice and simple. Now, another thing you could have done too, if you wanted to, if you've got some basic clear rhinestones, just grab a couple of little clear ones and put them in the middle of your flowers if you wanted to. I've just noticed, minor detail, but I haven't coloured the leaves under the buds. You've probably noticed that before, but as I said, it's only minor details, you wouldn't even notice it. And I'm not even going to blend that. So that's our card for today. So that's the original and that's our today's card. Okay, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next week. Enjoy your week. See ya. All right.